If I told you that being told you'll never walk again could lead to discovering your wings? Stay with me for an extraordinary story of transformation and learn 3 science backed practices you can apply at home to support your own recovery journey. Greetings. It's nice to see you again. And to all those who are new here, you're very welcome. Imagine being an elite athlete training for Olympic glory on a crisp morning bike ride. This was Janine Shepherd's life until a speeding truck struck her, shattering her body and dreams. Multiple broken bones, severe spinal damage, and internal injuries left doctors certain she would never walk again, never have children, and would be bound to a wheelchair for life. These devastating predictions relied on what medical imaging could show about her injuries. But there was something even more powerful at work inside her brain, an incredible capacity for change that science was just beginning to understand. Your brain processes pain like a sophisticated alarm system. When injury occurs, this system becomes hypersensitive. Think of a smoke detector that starts blaring at the slightest hint of toast being left in this toaster too long. But here's the fascinating part. Your brain creates new neural pathways every time you learn something new. Back home from the spinal clinic, wrestling with depression and what seemed like an impossible future, Janine looked up at the sky one day and spotted an airplane. In that moment, a new dream took flight. If she couldn't walk, she would fly. Despite her physical limitations, she pursued pilot training, and with each lesson, not only did she master flying, but her body began its own incredible journey of recovery. Let me share 3 science-backed practices that Janine's journey reveals. Each one taps into your brain's natural ability to rewire and heal. The first practice is redefine what's possible. Think of threat responses as your body's alarm system, racing thoughts, tense muscles, shallow breathing. These are normal responses, but we can learn to shift them. When you notice these signals, try this. Focus on one simple activity that you could do right now, like gently moving your fingers or taking a deeper breath. This small action shows your nervous system that you have options, just like Janine discovered when she could fly when walking seemed impossible. This activates your prefrontal cortex, reducing activity in pain processing regions, which helps turn down the volume of your pain. Practice number 2 is start where you are. Research shows that taking actions releases neurochemicals like dopamine and serotonin, natural pain modulators in your brain. Despite severe challenges, Janine began with what she could do, sitting in a pilot seat. Here's how you could start. Wiggle your toes during TV commercials. Hum your favorite song while making tea. Draw tiny shoulder circles with your shoulders while reading, going like this. Practice gentle neck turns during phone calls. Count clouds from your window. Practice number 3 is to trust the process. While Janine learned flight controls, her brain was simultaneously rebuilding motor pathways. This demonstrates how engaging in meaningful activities can naturally dampen pain signals through neurological principles that are competing with inputs. Let's look at what science reveals about your brain's healing abilities. Research consistently shows 3 principles at work in recovery stories. So just like Janine's, mental practice is important. It strengthens neural connections. Also, novel experiences promote brain stimulation and plasticity. And, I've talked often about neuroplasticity. And regular gentle movement retrains the pain's responses. These principles aren't just theory. They're transforming lives right now. Let me introduce you to Andrea. She's a 45-year-old web content manager who underwent spinal fusion surgery that didn't bring the hope for relief that she underwent the surgery for. Her pain persisted, and her doctors struggled to explain why. Like many with what they call the failed back surgery syndrome, Her nervous system remained in high alert despite healing tissue. Reading Janine's story, Andrea realized her identity wasn't tied to her surgical outcome. She started with just 5 minutes of gentle movements daily, focusing on work projects to reduce pain awareness. And she found that was very, very helpful. Again, starting with only 5 minutes of gentle movement. And today, she manages her web team standing at her desk. She also practices yoga and mentors others with failed back surgery syndrome. So she really took her life in her own hands, and she showed her doctors that she could do some self-care that was going to improve her quality of life. So let me share some specific practices that you can try at home today. First of all is creating safety signals for your nervous system. Set a gentle alarm every 2 hours to take 3 slow breaths. Okay, that's one thing you could do. Place calming images around your workspace or your home environment. Create a morning ritual like watching birds or listening to soft music. Choose one spot in your home as your safe zone for relaxation. You could also engage in a novel, non-threatening movements, like drawing small circles with your fingers while reading, or practice gentle head tilts during TV shows. You could also make figure eights with your eyes while waiting for coffee. Just all this movement's going on, which is great for your brain. Or you can even float your arms like seaweed while seated. And finally, you could imagine walking on clouds during your rest periods. And, practicing visualization. Picture yourself moving easily through water. Visualize your childhood activities that brought you a lot of joy and companionship with your friends in your neighborhood. Imagine gentle shoulder rolls while lying down. See yourself reaching effortlessly for objects, or practice air piano movements with your fingers. Remember to start small. Even 30 seconds of practice can begin creating new neural pathways. Choose one practice that feels inviting and build from there. Like Janine, who went from a hospital bed to the pilot's seat, your brain has a remarkable capacity for change. If you'd like to hear more of Janine's inspiring story, I encourage you to watch her TED Talk. I'll include the link in the description below. Please subscribe to learn more about the natural recovery practices that I upload every day. So it's bye for now, and I'm wishing you a comfortable week.